The beginning of all riches is not in money, it is in mindset. Before gold filled vaults, it filled imaginations. Those who built empires first dared to think beyond the limits of their surroundings. They thought big, not with arrogance, but with vision. They refused to shrink their dreams to fit their current conditions. Instead, they expanded their beliefs to match the future they were determined to create. But vision alone is not enough. Grand dreams collapse without humble beginnings. Start small. Start now. Every towering structure was once a single brick. The size of your start doesn't matter, but the consistency of your action does. Success is not handed to anyone. It is accumulated through persistent, invisible steps no one else is willing to take. Do the small things with such intensity and intention that the world is forced to take notice. And while you climb, act like the rich, not in vanity, but in mentality. The wealthy do not wait for evidence to believe in themselves. They move as if the goal is already theirs. They make decisions with purpose. They guard their time, they invest in themselves, and they speak with authority. You must become that person mentally before you ever become it materially. What you think, you become. What you do daily, you master. And what you believe about yourself becomes the boundary of your success. So think like the giant, work like the builder, and walk like you already arrived. The world may not see it yet, but soon it will have no choice. Ceres, before any dollar is earned, before any empire is built, wealth is first formed in the invisible realm of thought. The richest individuals did not begin with overflowing bank accounts. They began with overflowing belief. They saw riches in their imagination before they saw it in their reality. The mind is the workshop where fortune is crafted. It is here that ideas are born, desires are ignited, and plans are molded into action. If you cannot see abundance in your thoughts, you will not hold it in your hands. The person who trains their mind to think in terms of possibility, opportunity, and creation lays the unshakable foundation for lasting wealth. Poverty and prosperity both start in the same place. The thoughts you permit to dominate your mind. Your future cannot grow beyond the boundaries of your imagination. A small dream produces a small life. A grand vision creates a limitless path. What you dare to dream sets the altitude of what you are willing to pursue. Dreams act as the blueprint of destiny. They stretch your thinking, expand your courage, and call forth hidden strength. If you dream only for survival, you'll never know the richness of purpose. But when you dream for impact, influence, and greatness, your life begins to attract the resources, people, and opportunities needed to fulfill that vision. The world opens up in proportion to the size of the goal you're brave enough to declare. Think small, live confined, dream big, and you invite the extraordinary. Greatness is not the result of one grand gesture. It is built quietly, steadily, and often unnoticed. The most powerful transformations begin with small, consistent actions repeated with discipline. It is not the size of the step that matters, but the commitment behind it. Each small act of effort, each moment of focus, each refusal to quit when it's easier to give up, these are the bricks that construct an extraordinary life. The disciplined person understands that success is not found in bursts of energy, but in daily rituals. What you do today, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is designing the life you will live tomorrow. Excellence is never an accident. It is a pattern of decisions, shaped in silence and proven over time. Wealth is not reserved for the lucky or the chosen. It follows those who practice its principles. The routines, disciplines, and mindset that create financial success are not secrets locked behind golden doors. They are available to anyone bold enough to commit. The wealthy rise early with intention, guard their time, invest in knowledge, and make decisions with clarity and purpose. These habits are not based on income. They are based on values. You do not need riches to act with discipline, to think long-term, or to live with purpose. Anyone can choose to think like the wealthy, to behave with responsibility, and to train the mind to lead rather than follow. The difference lies not in access, but in willingness. Wealthy habits adopted in ordinary moments create extraordinary futures. Too many chase the symbols of success before they've earned the structure that supports it. Designer clothes, flashy cars, and luxury living mean nothing without the thinking that sustains them. True wealth begins internally with discipline, clarity, and vision, not with material display. To imitate the lifestyle without adopting the mindset is to build a mansion on sand. It looks impressive, but it won't last. The mindset of the truly successful Khalid. Every achievement the world applauds began as a quiet thought, a flicker of belief that no one else could see. Success is not random. It is the unfolding of inner vision through outer effort. The thoughts you nurture, your goals, your affirmations, your plans, are the hidden architecture of your future. But thinking alone is not enough. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the tangible. It is through disciplined steps, persistent effort, and deliberate movement that thought becomes reality. The world doesn't respond to what you wish for, it responds to what you act on. You must take what lives in your imagination and breathe it into existence through consistent, focused work. In this way, your inner world becomes your outer result. Thoughts shape the plan, but action builds the life. When you think big, your mind stretches beyond limitation. You begin to see possibilities where others see problems. A grand vision gives your life direction, fuels your ambition, and awakens purpose. But while big thinking opens the door, it is small beginnings that build the strength to walk through it. Starting small is not a sign of weakness. It is a mark of wisdom. It allows you to learn, adapt, and lay a solid foundation brick by brick. Without that foundation, even the greatest vision will crumble. The dream gives you the why, but the small start teaches you the how. Success is born when high vision meets humble execution. One gives you the eyes to see the peak, exceek ease. The other gives you the strength to climb it. Too often, people wait for resources before taking the first step, believing that money is the gateway to success. But history proves otherwise. Most of the world's greatest accomplishments began with little more than a clear vision and relentless dedication. Clarity gives you direction. It defines what you want and where you're going. Courage pushes you past fear and excuses, daring you to move despite uncertainty. And commitment keeps you in motion when the excitement fades and obstacles appear. Money is a tool, not a starting point. When your mind is rich with purpose and your heart is full of resolve, you can begin anywhere and go everywhere. The most valuable assets you will ever own are not in your pocket, They are within you. Life responds not to what you wish for, but to what you believe you deserve. When you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who belongs in success, opportunity begins to recognize you. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. Abundance has a frequency, and those who think, speak, and act from that place naturally draw it in. If you approach life as an outsider to success, you'll always feel like you're chasing it. But when you act like you're already worthy of wealth, love, freedom, and greatness, you begin to walk, decide, and show up differently. People notice. Doors open, the world mirrors your posture. So stop waiting to be invited into abundance. Stand like you already live there, because eventually you will. Success does not visit the unready. It arrives at the doorsteps of those who have already made space for it, mentally, emotionally, and practically. But preparation is not just strategy and skill. It begins much deeper with belief. Until you believe you are meant for more, you will not prepare for more. Belief fuels the discipline to learn, to plan, to show up consistently, even when results are not immediate. It gives you the reason to practice when no one is watching, and to persist when quitting would be easier. Though what day and name, fortune may appear to the world as sudden luck, but behind every breakthrough is a person who believed long before it was reasonable to do so. In the end, life gives the most to those who prepare the most, and belief is always the first tool in their hands. Every great success story begins not with money, not with fame, but with a single thought, a vision, a belief. The moment you decide to think beyond your current situation, you begin to break the limits around your life. Big thinking doesn't cost $1, but it adds immeasurable value. It awakens your sleeping potential. It dares you to want more, to do more, and to become more. But dreams without action are fantasies. That's why you must start, no matter how small. A single step in the right direction has more power than 100 intentions. What you build brick by brick will outlast anything built overnight. The quiet routines, the habits no one sees, the sacrifices you make in silence, these are the foundation stones of true wealth. And as you take action, carry yourself with the dignity of someone who already belongs where they're headed. The rich didn't wait to feel successful before acting like it. They moved with purpose before the world recognized their value. So speak with clarity, move with intention, think with discipline. Don't perform for applause. Prepare for impact. And you don't need more time. You don't need someone's peer MS,